Hey, what's up, YouTube? Are you a business owner or nonprofit director looking to tackle your next video project? You've got the budget, you're ready to go. If so, watch this video first because I'm going to show you in this video, tell you 5 ways to go from the fear and confusion, and also the very real possibility of your video flopping and not getting the results you want, to a very real possibility of actually feeling confident and equipped of actually being able to get the results that you're hoping for from your video. So my name is Will. I've been in video production for quite a while. Been doing it since I was about 12. Obviously not professionally since I was that old, but been making videos since I was 12 years old. And started doing it professionally when I hit just before I was 18. And now I own People Project Media, which is a video production and marketing, digital marketing business based out of Fairbanks, Alaska. And I've been in this game a long time, and I've made a lot of videos for a lot of clients. And what I've learned is that there are some very, very specific practices and behaviors that will ensure that your video project does not go well. I've seen my own clients make this. I myself have made these mistakes in some situations. And what I've learned is that there are also ways to not make them or to do it better that will ultimately help you to get better results and make sure your video project gets the results, or at least gets closer to the results that you actually want them to get. And in this video, I'm going to take you through 5 of them. So let's jump right in. So the first one is to set huge expectations for your video. Essentially, expect your one video project to make you a millionaire, to get you all sorts of followers on YouTube or Facebook, or essentially to just solve all of your digital marketing or just marketing in general woes, right? A lot of clients that I have come into projects with videos with visions of grandeur. And in some ways, that's great because they love the idea of a video, and video is very powerful, which it is. It's a very powerful medium, especially in today's attention economy. Being able to visually communicate your identity, your message, your offerings, and also to create a relationship with your face and your voice is a very powerful medium. And there's a reason that everybody's using the medium of video. The problem with that is a lot of times we put all of our hopes in one particular video that we're making. We say, oh, if I just make this video, then all of my marketing woes are going to be over with. And that's just not really how it works. Video is a fantastic medium, but the way to get the best results out of it is to fit it into your marketing strategy as a whole. So if you don't have a marketing strategy, I'm going to make the suggestion that you probably shouldn't be putting a bunch of money into producing a video. Video is very powerful for doing what it wants, but it needs to fit in with what you're already doing in order to get the best results, right? So my suggestion is instead of putting all of your hopes into one video, think about your overall marketing strategy. What are you trying to do with your marketing, and how does this video fit into it? It doesn't have to be complex. It might just be that your marketing strategy is going to local churches and showing your video to congregations and trying to get them to sign up for your nonprofit, right? This is a very simple way of using it. But as you'll notice, that brings in other elements of your marketing that are going to need to be taken care of in addition to just your video. Because what a lot of times I see happen is people think through the video, they get really excited for the video, but they don't get nearly as excited for the other elements. And then they get the video and they realize, oh shoot, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this, right? And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but fit your video into the rest of your marketing and be realistic with your expectations. I'm not saying to have small expectations. I'm saying be realistic. What can you expect out of your video in the context of the marketing that you're already doing or that you're wanting to do? That's how you're going to be able to get the best results out of your video and to get the ones that you want. All right, so number 2, wing it with your script. A lot of times I see when people want to make a video, instead of really thinking through the script, they just start writing things. They write why they're great, who they are, what's important about them. They talk all about their services. And this is a surefire way to make sure that your video doesn't actually get the results you want. There are certain things that you learn in marketing and psychology that move people and predispose people to want to take the action that you're presenting to them and to engage with you, buy your product, connect with your brand. These are not just random things. They're very specific elements that you want to include in your video in order to shift the state of the viewer. And the quickest way to be able to do this is to use a formula for a script that includes all of these different things. Now, obviously, your script is going to be a little different than somebody else's script. Somebody else's script is going to be a little different than yours. But the point is that these formulas aren't so much about the substance of your script, but about the elements that you include, right? And these are going to make sure that your video has a much better response rate and gets much better results than if you were to just talk all about yourself and your own services and what you do and why you're so great. Right? You are great. You're amazing. However, the way you talk about yourself is going to be the difference between whether or not the person who's watching your video gets excited and clicks the button below or opts into your offer or whatever. And that's going to be the thing that's going to really get them to opt in, not necessarily how much you talk about yourself. So there are a lot of these different formulas. I use the video formula by Kevin Anson. You can look it up. He has a course on it, and I think there's also a free PDF somewhere out there floating around. There's other ones. Another one I use is the Pastor formula by Ray Edwards of how to write my scripts. Whatever one you pick, just pick one that has been tested with distribution spend, e.g. someone has made videos in that formula and then put money into it to make sure that it's got the right elements into it. And then use that one. Tailor it to the particular video that you're making, but really try to make sure you're including as many of the different elements as you can. And then also talk about your customer as much as you talk about yourself. This is sort of a common theme in different script formulas, is that you're not just talking about yourself, you're really talking about who you're trying to reach with that video and with that service that you're talking about. You want to make sure to talk about them as much as you talk about you, so that you're going to connect with them and build that relationship that's really going to help your video to succeed in the long run. By doing this, you're going to get a better click-through rate, you're going to get more views, a longer watch time, and ultimately you're going to have more people buy your product because you're intentionally thinking about the script that you're creating rather than just talking about whatever. So number 3, a little bit of a snafu in my outline here. All right. So number 3, start with a foolproof distribution strategy. Where are you going to distribute your video once it's done? Have you thought about this? How are you going to get your video in front of the people who you want to see it? This is something that I see a lot of my clients come to me without having thought through. They know all about the video they want to make. We want to make it this way. We want to make it that way. We want to have shots of this. We want to have shots of this, that, right? But what they don't think of is, what are we going to do with it once it's done? Who are we making this video for? Where are they living online or otherwise? And how are we going to get it in front of them once it's done? And even if they have thought about that, a lot of times they haven't thought about the particularities of what it's going to take in order to do that. Maybe they know they want to put it on social media, but what they don't really think about is the fact that if you just post it to your social media wall, you're going to get 10 people that are going to see it, and then no one else is going to see it, right? How are you going to get it in front of more of your people? How are you going to make sure that they see it? Where are they living? Are they living on your social media wall? Do you need to put aside some money for ads? We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But the important thing is ask yourself the question, where are you going to distribute it? What do you want your customer to do when they see it? And what supporting media do you need to leverage this video? And do you have that media? Video is a very powerful tool when it comes to grabbing at people's attention and getting them to emotionally connect with your brand. But it can't make the sale on its own. If you are just planning to put your video out into the world without any supporting media around it, it's going to fail. What that means is you need some way to convert your customer into a lead or a buyer, right? So do you have a landing page? Do you have a Shopify account? Do you have something that's going to get them to take the next step? Are you connecting it to your Facebook account so that you can continue to communicate with them on social media? This is all part of your distribution strategy. And you need to think through and have a completely foolproof distribution strategy to be able to get the full impact from your video that you're wanting to have with it. If you do this, you're going to spend less money to get in front of the same people. Why? Because more of them are going to convert into actual customers, right? So you won't have to spend as much money to get as many purchases, right? If you don't have a distribution strategy, no one is going to buy your product because no one will ever see your video. If you do have a foolproof distribution strategy, that's going to be the most important thing to actually getting it in front of them. Which brings me to my next point, number 4, which is to spend most of your money on producing the video itself. Most times when my clients come to me, they come with a budget. Whether or not that's $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever that budget is, they have allocated most of that budget to shooting the actual video. The problem with this is that in today's economy, you need just as much money to be able to distribute that video effectively as you do to produce it. If you put all of your money into producing the video, then you're going to not have the budget to be able to get it out in front of the people who need to see it and convert them into customers or viewers or whatever it is you're trying to do. So here's my suggestion instead. Spend half your budget on producing the video and keep half of your budget for distributing the video. Now, this means less money for me because I'm a video producer. I don't do a lot of distribution. But the reason that this is important is because if you don't do this, you're going to be up the creek without a paddle. You're not going to be able to get it in front of your customers, and that all that money you just wasted on a video, you're going to have to try and figure out where to pull money from or time or budget or whatever to be able to actually do something with the video once it's complete. Another thing that you should think about is instead of putting all of your money into a super high production value video, put it into a more moderate production value video with leftover for distribution. That's better than a fancy high production value company with no money to actually put the video where it's going to be seen, right? High production value has its place. I shoot high production value. I do high production value. However, it's not for everyone, especially people who are just trying to get a certain amount out of their video and they're just starting out their video marketing. High production value video works really well if you have a solid distribution strategy and you have a good solid budget in order to be able to distribute the video once it's done. High production value video can increase the quality of your work. It can make you seem more professional and you increase and heighten the impressiveness of your brand. But if you don't have any money to get that in front of the people, no one is going to actually care because they're not going to see it. So don't put all your money into the production of the video. Half into the production, half into the distribution, and that's going to be where your sweet spot is to be able to actually get results with your video. So my 5th one is only use your video once or on just one platform. Or what's even better, what's a better way to not get the results you want is to not use it at all. Now you might say, that's ridiculous, Will. Why would I spend $3,000 to $7,000 and not get any and not do anything with my video? That's a great question, but I can tell you I've had clients who have done this. They invest all this money into having me to produce a video and then they don't do anything with it. It sits on the hard drive that I gave to them and it really doesn't do a lot. So or maybe it just gets posted to their social media and nothing else ever happens with it. Now I get it. People are busy. It's difficult to have the time and the intentionality to be able to actually really leverage a video for all it's worth. What I'm telling you is don't be that person. If you are going to produce a video, do all the other points in this video so that you'll know what to do with it once it's complete. And then, in addition to your primary distribution channel, use it as many ways as you possibly can. I also have clients who are really, really good at doing this. When I make a video for them, they use it in live events. That's their primary distribution venue. Then they convert it into ads. That's another venue. Then they put it on their landing pages. That's another venue. So they take these things that they're investing in and they use them in as many ways as they can think. And that way they're getting more and more return on the video that they just invested all of this money in. So once you get your video, or even better, before you even shoot your video, think about all of the different ways that you could use it in addition to the way that you're initially thinking. If you're thinking about using it on social media, extend that, expand that. Think about how you could put it in your email marketing, or how you could use it in your live events, or could you put it on your website, other people's websites? How could you get it in front of as many people as is humanly possible so that they are going to be able to see it and you're going to get more return on your video? All right, guys, that is my 5 points, my 5 ways to make sure that your video does not give you the results that you want, and also what to do instead. If all of this is sounding really daunting to you, I get it. It's a lot, right? Producing a video in today's age is not just as simple as pointing a camera at things and saying action, and then you're rich and famous and you connect and build relationships with all the people you want online. That's not how it works. The good news is that you and I can walk through all of these points and more entirely for free. So if you would like to connect with me and have a complimentary video strategy session where I walk you through each of these points and we talk through it about your next video project that you've got coming up, I'd love it if you would click on the link in the description of this video and book a free complimentary video call with me. I'd love to help you to conceptualize this whole process so you're going to get more views, more leads, more sales, and just bottom line, build more relationships and nurture more of your relationships with this powerful medium that you are trying to invest in, which is video. All right, guys, thank you for your time. We'll see you next time. Will Bowman with People Project Media. I'm out.